Can I get roll call, please?
Chair Kimbrough,
Here.
Vice Chair Inverson, Member Burge, Member Martinovich, Member McQuarrie, Member Mozingo, Member Wiggins. A quorum is present.
Great. Ms. Ingram will be late, so he'll wander in and you'll see him come in when he comes in. Okay, we're at a public comment at the beginning here. So this, I always remind people, if you want to make public comment during that item, if not, you're certainly welcome to come up anyway. All right, Denny. Oh, hey, Denny, I have a present for you. You come up here and grab that. It's ticking is would be a clue I'd give that's in the box. Ticking, you'll see. Because you complained at me last time that because we don't have that, you now have that. It's a 3-minute timer. Yeah, no, because it doesn't. It's not on for us. So now you can take care of it on your own there. Well, you're welcome.
Denny French, Carson City, Nevada, and for the record, I was just given a 3-minute timer by the chair. Mark Kimbrough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, it puts a whole different spin on my mental state. But I want to say that I've read through the material, and I've done my best to understand the P's and Q's, and I had a chance to talk to Ms. Lovejoy just a bit earlier, and apparently the monkey flower is found all over town. So it's not really an issue of the monkey flower being places, but those places are all vulnerable. They are not in our control or in your control as members or committee. They're private property or business or such like that, and they can be built over, and those locations will be lost. The monkey flower where we have control as a city is Prison Hill, and one of those areas that I was concerned about just now and mentioned it was next to the water towers off of Coons. That area is being developed for the trailhead, which I'm all for and appreciate because of the specific needs that I have as an individual. Having a nice trailhead there is very helpful. But I am concerned that our lack of real understanding that BLM land is not going to be here forever, and BLM cannot take on some of the specifics the species need, so that when we move them out of the area that they are now living, they can't just move. They can't move next door to the vacant lot or what you call vacant lot, or they can't move to other areas, either they're too dry to whatever. So what we have, we should protect. And while we're waiting to see what the Department of Wildlife, Fish and Game is going to determine on that monkey flower, I think we should hold up anything we can and protect those flower areas that we know of on the hill, and we're not right now. So I want to say that, wow, this is actually feeling like I've got more time than I thought. The deal is, for me, is that Prison Hill should have been an animal refuge or a sanctuary. It should not have been left to recreational type purposes. I think it should have been closed off. Under this broad determination by the supervisors, the mission plan for Prison Hill's mission statement was to preserve and protect. And this is an area that should have been protected more, and the trail shouldn't have even been considered. They had trails that go around the whole area, and while they aren't going to be wide enough to walk 4 or 5 in breast, we are looking at a situation where those kill zones, basically, they're heat zones. Erosion will be a problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. And I didn't jip you and make that 2 minutes just to let you know. So
I saw it.
you're fine. It's 3 minutes. I clocked it myself to see if it worked.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
I'll keep this out.
Go ahead and come up, sir, and identify yourself first. And he doesn't probably know what that's for. Yeah, he's fine. Is your mic on? I can't hear you hardly.
Is it better?
There we go. Thank you.
I don't. This is not introducing is not part of the time limit. Okay, so I'm Dave Bentel, and I've been to these meetings quite often, and I know Ms. Boyer, and I know Benjamin Johnson, and I sent this email as part of the I live on the river. So Jennifer Budge sent out an email. And I answered that email. And I have a few points that I want to bring to your attention regarding the sediment on Prison Hill. And I had a meeting with Charlie Donahoe and with Jennifer Carr, both from the state. And they acquiesced. I've got nothing in writing, but we had a look of, and it's pretty evident where the sediment from Prison Hill is entering the river. And it's entering from a perspective of through the prison lands And now every time it actually rains, we get sediment flowing the river along that reach, every time we have a significant rainfall. Okay. So I have presented this, and I want to actually have the minutes recorded in the agenda, this recorded in the agenda minutes. And I think that's allowable. Is that right, Lindsay?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay's the AG. I just promoted AG, the DA.
Yeah, no. I sent
Your
it to-
question
I
was,
sent-
let me ask him that. So your question is, can you submit that for inclusion in the minutes for this meeting?
It's single sheet.
You didn't, is there a deadline for submission of items, comments?
Mr. Chair, Ben Johnson, Senior Deputy District Attorney for the record. I can't speak to exactly what it is that Mr. Bentel is trying to admit into the record. If it's part of his written statement or something to that effect, he can ask that it be included in the minutes. If it was, something other than a personal statement, I, would have to review it in order to determine whether or not it could be submitted. If it's something that's copyrighted, for example, like a news article.
No, it's not anything like that. And I've submitted it to Jennifer Budge and Lindsay Boyer. And
Excuse me, sir, can you speak to me? I'm sorry.
Sure.
There's just a
sure,
formal way we do presentations.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I apologize. I
Don't
lost
apologize.
I
You're
lost
doing
my
fine.
wife about a year ago, and while she was in hospice, I broke my hip, so I'm a little
I'm
bit
sorry.
shaky. Thank
Well,
you.
you're doing really well, so you're
Thank
doing
you.
just fine. Thank you.
So it's 4 items. I read it out. It'll take less than 3 minutes of the time I've taken. And it's entirely related. It's part of this answer. And I said, my issues are entirely related to Prison Hill and include, 1, spillage of Prison Hill eroded sediment is entering the Carson River every time a significant storm occurs, as discussed with both state administrators using recent aerial topography. This means that the storage of eroded sediment in the state prison lands is no longer working, and the storage potential requires immediate upgrading by the city because it's clearly the city's sediment and therefore the city's cost. 3, your new trail design fails to provide any major sediment detention facilities on Prison Hill, which is an option to replace the state prison facilities, but obviously has not been included in the city's budgeted costs. 4, no stormwater sediment detention plan has been developed for the block culvert at the off-the-trailer wash, which through inadequate engineering design is a prime example of sediment creation and transport into the state prison lands. The city's goal is to operate the OHV facility for over 25 years. But I got no problem. But with the evidence of sediment already flowing into the Carson River, this goal is impossible without the city appropriating additional funds to either maintain all sediment on the hill or upgrade the state prison sediment storage area.
Okay, I have to tell you, 3 minutes is a limit, and you're past that, which I've given you that extra time.
Thank you.
Are you about ready to summarize that?
I'm done.
You're done. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. Your timing's pretty good here because we have an agenda item on tonight about the Carson River Corridor Plan. So we're just now beginning to gather this type of information to put a plan together for the Carson River. So it's timely, and since you just said all that, it's already an official part of the record. But you can
Okay.
hand me that piece of paper if
I
you
will
want,
do. Yeah.
and then we're squared away.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, all the members as well.
Well, you're welcome.
And I guess I got to sign it. No, do I have to sign it?
I don't know if you have to sign. I
I
assumed you
will,
did.
yeah.
It helps us, helps the
Yeah.
recorder, that's for sure. Yeah, the recorder's shaking her head, yes. Is there anybody else that want to make public comment before we get going here on the agenda? No?
I just put Prison Hill. Yes. Sorry to delay you. Thanks very much.
Okay, you can hand me that piece of paper too when you. And I'll like hand it to, just to make sure. You gotta go eat? Okay, well. Oh, that's fine. You don't have to be. I'm just letting you know that you, and there'll be plenty more opportunities for your comments. Okay? It just starts tonight. All right. Now, where was I at? Oh, for possible action, approval of the minutes. Does anybody have any changes? Or can I hear a motion?
I need to abstain because I was not here for that meeting.
I have pure silence. There's no changes probably. No changes? Somebody can make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jay.
I move to approve the minutes of June 17th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Can I get a second? Second. Got a second? I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody abstaining? And you've already done that, Donna. so-
Abstain as well. I was
Oh,
not
Susan
here.
abstains too. So is that a quorum? Lost a 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a quorum. All right, just making sure that I don't get in trouble for that. All right, finally we get to the meeting. Discussion only. Presentation, discussion regarding presentation of awards for the Open Space Advisory Committee Annual Awards Program. Lindsay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the record, Lindsay Boyer, Open Space Manager. We are excited to finally release our first ever OSAC Annual Awards. This is a project from the committee that we've been working on for about a year. And as a reminder, the criteria for these awards are for both organizations, nonprofits, or businesses that have given substantial time, financial contributions, or in kind to the open space program, as well as a person who has given substantial time, financial contributions, or in kind to the open space program. And really, we are looking to recognize individuals who have demonstrated significant, exemplary, and dedicated service towards the mission and goals of the open space program. And we have a few individuals to recognize here tonight. So with that, I'll turn it back to Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to do the first award for an absentee before I give the folks that showed up. We have an award here for Paul Sennett that Susan submitted. And Susan, you may speak to anything you want to on what you nominated him, the info that you sent in, or if you're not prepared, then I'm going to say one thing, that Paul is, there are individuals on this planet